This one file decides whether TypeScript catches your bugs before your users do, or lets them slip straight into production. Most developers copy a tsconfig.json from the internet and never understand a single line inside it. That's a mistake. Master this file, and TypeScript becomes your most powerful safety net. Let's actually understand it, option by option. So what exactly is tsconfig.json? Think of it as the rulebook for the TypeScript compiler. When you run TypeScript, it looks for this file in your project root and follows whatever instructions you put inside. It controls how your code gets checked, where the output goes, and how strict the type checking should be. Without it, TypeScript just guesses with defaults. And the defaults are rarely what you want. Let's create one from scratch. The easiest way is to let TypeScript generate it for you. Open your terminal and run npx tsc. Init. This creates a tsconfig.json with sensible defaults and tons of commented out options you can turn on later. Notice it doesn't install anything globally. npx grabs the TypeScript compiler on demand. Here's the file it generates. Cleaned up. Everything important lives inside a key called compiler options. That's where 90% of your settings go. Outside it, you'll often add include and exclude arrays to tell TypeScript which files to look at. Don't worry about memorizing all of this. We'll break each piece down one at a time. Let's start with target. TypeScript compiles down to plain JavaScript. But which version of JavaScript? That's what target controls. If you set it to ES 2022, modern features like optional chaining stay as is. If you set it to a much older version like ES5, TypeScript rewrites your code to work on ancient browsers. For most projects in 2026, ES 2022 is a safe, modern choice. Pick the lowest version your users actually run. Next up is module. This decides how your import and export statements get compiled. Older code used CommonJS, which is the require style modules you see in Node. Modern projects use NodeNext or SNext, which keep the clean import-export syntax. As a beginner rule of thumb, if you're building for modern Node, use NodeNext. If you're using a bundler like Vite, use SNext. Pick the wrong one, and your imports simply won't resolve. Now, where does the compiled JavaScript actually go? That's the job of outDir and rootDir. rootDir tells TypeScript where your source files live, usually a folder called src. outDir tells it where to dump the compiled output, usually a folder called dist. This keeps your clean TypeScript source separate from the generated JavaScript. Never commit your dist folder. That's why we exclude it. Now for the most important option in the entire file, strict. Setting strict to true is like switching TypeScript from polite suggestions to a strict teacher who catches every mistake. It's actually a master switch that turns on a whole family of stricter checks at once. Honestly, you should keep this on for every new project. Yes, it'll complain more in the beginning. But every complaint is a bug. It just stopped you from shipping. So what does strict actually enable behind the scenes? It flips on several flags together. noImplicitAny stops TypeScript from silently letting variables be any type. strictNullChecks forces you to handle null and undefined properly. This one catches a huge number of real-world crashes. Strict function types and a few others tighten up how functions are checked. You can toggle these individually, but turning on strict is the clean shortcut that gives you all of them. Let me show you why strictNullChecks is a lifesaver. Imagine you fetch a user, but the user might not exist. Without this check, TypeScript happily lets you access user name even when user could be undefined, and you get a crash at runtime. With it on, TypeScript forces you to check first. This single flag has probably prevented more billion-dollar null pointer bugs than any other line of config. Here's another flag worth understanding. noImplicitAny. When you write a function parameter without a type, TypeScript secretly assigns it the any type, which basically turns off all checking for that value. That defeats the whole point of using TypeScript. With no implicit any on, TypeScript yells at you to add a type. It forces you to be intentional, and your code becomes self-documenting. Now let's fix something that drives every developer crazy. Those ugly relative imports with 3 dots and slashes everywhere. Path aliases solve this. You set a base URL, then define paths that map a clean alias to a real folder. Now, instead of importing from ///utils, you just write @utils. It's cleaner, it survives file moves, and it reads beautifully. Here's that alias in real code. Notice how clean the import looks now. @utils/format. No matter how deep this file is buried in your folders. One important note. TypeScript understands these aliases for type checking, but your runtime or bundler needs to know about them too. Tools like White and tsnode handle this with a small extra setting. We'll cover bundler setup in a future video. Let's talk about which files TypeScript even looks at. The include array tells the compiler where to find your source, usually everything inside src. The exclude array tells it what to skip. You almost always exclude node modules and your output dis folder, because compiling those would be slow and pointless. A common beginner mistake is forgetting include entirely, which makes TypeScript scan your whole project and slow to a crawl. 2 more options that make life easier. SourceMap generates a map file that links your compiled JavaScript back to your original TypeScript. So when you debug, you see your real source code, not the messy compiled output. Declaration generates .dir.ts files, which are type definition files. You only need declaration if you're publishing a library that others will import. For a regular app, skip it. Let me give you a few modern flags worth turning on in 2026. S-module interop makes importing common JS packages painless. Skip lib check speeds up compilation by skipping type checks on library files. Force consistent casing in file names prevents headaches when your code works on Mac but breaks on a Linux server because of capital letters. And verbatim module syntax is the modern way to keep your import and export handling predictable. These are all safe defaults. Here's a complete production-ready tsconfig you can actually use today. Strict mode on, modern target and module, clean path aliases, source maps for debugging, and proper include and exclude. Copy this, tweak the paths to match your folders, and you've got a rock-solid foundation. The difference now? You understand every single line. No more blind copy-paste. Finally, let's prove it works. Run npx dsc with the noImit flag to type check your whole project without producing any files. If you see no errors, your config and your code are in great shape. This is the exact command you'd run in a CI pipeline to catch bugs before they ever reach users. And that's the whole point of mastering this file. And that's tsconfig.json fully decoded. Remember the 3 big takeaways. Always turn on strict mode to catch bugs before your users do. Use path aliases to kill those ugly relative imports. And set your target and module to match where your code actually runs. Next up in our TypeScript track, we're diving into TypeScript generics, the feature that unlocks truly reusable, type-safe code. If this made tsconfig finally click, hit subscribe and drop your biggest TypeScript question in the comments. We read every one.